A warning to all about to listen to this podcast. The following audio may contain spoilers, inappropriate language for younger viewers, and those who are easily offended, and above all, bad opinions. You have been warned, but for now, let's get on with the show. Alright then, hello everybody and welcome to the 9th episode of the Anime Bro podcast, the place to be for all of your anime recommendations, the place to be for all of your anime reviews, but just bear in mind, we may make your favourite anime a little bit shittier. My name is Archerskye and joining me on the show this week I have Iru.
Hello, good morning, good evening, good night if I don't know what time your zone you're in.
You finally got it right because normally you say good afternoon everybody when we record.
Well, I usually do it based on what I can see from my window, but it's kind of... After having played online so much, I kind of have to be respectful of Australians. Not that I think we have any Australians
Respecting
listening.
Australia.
Oh man. Oh, James would be
That's
happy
a
to
good
hear
joke.
that anyway. And of course I am joined by Valk.
Hello.
Alright then, so this week, no news again, because the podcasts have gotten a little few and far between each other, so I'm not going to bother doing that anymore. Instead, I'm going to try and get some kind of a weekly anime news segment video out every Friday, but that's going to be in the distant future when I can decide I can be bothered to do it. And of course, you know...
Weekly.
Weekly, yeah. I mean, I could...
Good luck, Dave.
I could possibly do it weekly, but it's one of them. It's like, are people actually interested? I mean, I'm just going to be going on, like, Anime News Network and Crunchyroll and Kotaku and stuff like that, getting all that information, repeating it, maybe occasionally adding my own opinion. So, I mean, is there an interest for that? Any subscribers listening, let me know. I could possibly do it. I mean, if it keeps a steady amount of... Also, just a small announcement regarding the next episode 10, I believe. We're going to be doing our first collective review. That show will be Fractale. So I have that ready to go. I think confirmed for watching it up to now is going to be myself and Valk. Iru said you might be taking a look at that as well.
Yeah, the name sounds familiar. I can't say off the top of my head if I've heard of it or heard what it's about, and in fact, I'll just look that up right now. But, yeah.
It sounds really corny and cute, and you know how much I enjoy
I watched the
hating
first
things.
episode like an hour ago, and it's kind of cute. I think it'll be okay.
Well,
I
I
might enjoy it then.
I kind of made a commitment to watch it now. Yeah, so we're just going to try and get one other person to jump in on this with us. That show was requested by, I think, one of our subscribers, Mr. Danderskoff, so shout out...
I hope they're subscribed.
What?
I hope they're subscribed.
I hope they
Just
are.
some random YouTube visitor commenting on our shit.
I'm going to make them watch this
Commented and
awful
never
show
came
and then
back.
leave.
Well, if that was the case, I'd have expected them to suggest something like Boku no Pico or Free. But then again, Cassie's already seen most of Free,
Wow.
so I can't really say anything about that. I
may have just started an argument there. Oh, man. Alright, so if you would like us to give us an impression or review on a show that you like or don't like, just do exactly what Mr. Danderskoff did. Leave us a comment, let us know what show it is, and we'll take it into consideration. We got a couple of shows we want to do a collective review on, like Sword Art Online, not Sword Art Online, I don't know why I was thinking there. Oh, God.
Everyone's already given up on that show,
come
I
on.
think.
Well, and that's the other thing. Nate's not here, so we can't talk about Sword Art Online.
Tim actually told me that he
Even
is enjoying
Nate said
it.
he was fucking bored of it. Like, he was like, yeah, it's boring.
Well, Tim will be on the next podcast, I assume, and he has been watching Sword Art Online too, and he thinks it's really good. I lost a little bit of respect for him today, I've got to be honest with you.
Well, and
I don't know, I might pick it back up later, but...
I've been trying to keep up on it, and so far, God, here I go. Let me try and avoid spoilers. It's taking a slightly different direction. I'm not sure how it's going to play out, but as of yet, I don't think it's going to be as love story heavy, so I'm still going to watch it, but it's definitely a change because obviously you went from sword fantasy to gun fantasy, so there's enough of a change that I think it's kind of interesting, but I'm not gonna keep my hopes up.
I mean, Tim told me who the main antagonist, I think is the main antagonist, has actually revealed himself, and I'm not sure if this is a spoiler, so spoiler here is if you haven't seen episode 5 of SAO2, like, mute it for a second. Oh, he's a survivor of Sword Art Online, and he was in that, the coughing, Laughing Cough Gang or something like that?
Laughing Coffin, I think is what it was.
The Laughing Coffins.
I don't remember.
Yeah, the PKs from SAO2. Well, apparently he's the main antagonist, so that's kind of interesting, but I don't know. It could be interesting, I'm not too sure. But
Yeah, like I think maybe when it finishes, I might just sit down and watch the entire thing, and just do that. But
if somebody else wants to watch it with me, I might. But I've no interest in it whatsoever.
yeah, I'd rather watch everything else I've been watching right now over it. So
Right, so a couple of other shows we're planning on doing collective reviews for. We've got Infinite Stratos, that's going to be coming up soon. That's Anime Abroad's official endorsed anime that we all love dearly, that Cassie still hasn't seen.
I watched 2 minutes
Along
of it.
with Kokias,
Wait,
and along with Fate Zero.
Are we talking the first season of Infinite Stratos?
Yeah, only the first season.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make you suffer through season 2. It was really bad.
Yeah,
really
it's not very
bad.
long.
I still
I'll
have
be able
yet
to sit
to
down and
see
watch that
past
one night.
episode 1, so I'm glad you said that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's pretty funny, but it goes nowhere at all. Like some girl shows up who looks like a mini version of Ichika's sister, and then that's the plot. She shows up every couple of episodes, causes a little bit of shit, and then fucks off again. I don't know though. In that season, I did gain a lot of respect for Cecilia, who I didn't really like because she kind of became a serial killer, almost a serial killer in one of the episodes.
Oh my.
She was trying to learn how to cook, so first she went to Hoki to learn how to cook, and then she poured perfume into this chicken soup that they were making, so Hoki became sick, and then she asked Shaw for help, and then she poisoned Shaw with the perfume, but Laura was staying in the same room as Shaw, so they both ate the same meal, both got poisoned. Then she done the same to Ling as well, so she pretty much had Ichika to herself for an episode. It was hilarious, and then like towards the end of the series, she blows up an entire like block of buildings, and I'm going to assume she killed a lot of people. So I was like, props to you, Cecilia. You've gained my respect.
So it's like the reason it's bad is just because nothing happens?
Nope, there's no running plot to it whatsoever. It's just stupid
That doesn't
fun.
sound that terrible, honestly.
You've got to watch it. It's
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got this one episode where Charlotte's what was the explanation behind this? Apparently, all of your clothing is somehow related to your IS unit, which is the mech that they pilot, and Ichika's one kept fucking up somehow, so they sent that off for repairs. So Charles said, "Okay, I volunteer to bodyguard, and I get to spend time with Ichika." And it turns out that her IS unit's malfunctioning as well, but everything works except her panties keep disappearing. So we spend the entire episode of her her skirt's blowing up in the wind, she's tripping over, she's falling down sets of stairs and stuff like that. It's just ridiculous. I don't know where the ideas came from this season, but fuck off. It's awful.
Well, I know why you didn't like it.
Oh yeah, that kind of stuff I hate. I mean, it's fun, but nobody should watch it. Nobody should have to suffer through that. Except you, Ty, you have to watch it.
Alright, it's on my
You'd probably enjoy
list
it.
now.
Alright, so the main topic for this week, just as it was last time, summer 2014. Instead this time, we're going to be giving you our midway point impressions. Every show we've been watching is around like the episode 4, 5, or 6 mark. So enough time has passed to say whether we'd recommend it. You come along with us and watch it week to week and experience the joy of cartoons with us. And should we run short of things to discuss, I've probably got a review hidden around somewhere on my computer. But don't hold your breath. Number 1, that's not very good for your health. Number 2, it might not happen.
I've got a review I can throw out there if we need extra time.
I feel like we have like 5 shows we can collectively discuss, James. We probably got enough.
Yeah, well, first up on my list here was Sword Art Online 2, but we just went over that, so
Yeah.
I'm only watching 3 shows this summer. Well, I'll be.
Oh wow.
I'll be watching 4 when it comes to Momo Kyun, so I'm waiting for a few shows to finish before I jump into them, like Glasslip I'm quite curious about, but...
Yeah, that's what I was waiting to hear about from Ty, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll pick it up after this episode.
I'll tell you what, then, Neri, what do you want to give us your impressions on Glasslip?
Sure. So far, I'll be honest, I watched the first episode and nothing really caught me right away. Well, alright, that's a total lie right off the bat. The one thing that did catch... Yeah, no, actually, surprisingly, there is, like, next to no fan service so far.
Okay, let's just gain 5 points.
I watched the first episode a few weeks ago. The story in the first episode didn't seem very interesting. It was just very much set up. But the one thing that I've noticed about it is the animation is absolutely gorgeous. There's bright, vivid colors. Everything is clean, crisp, well done, well animated. And just today, I decided to watch a couple more episodes. It has a nice kind of paranormal aspect to it, where the 2 characters can apparently hear what the one guy calls fragment of the future. And apparently it's all triggered by, well, for the one girl, it's triggered by her looking at glass pieces. I think it helps that the glass pieces she's looking at are things she's created, because they, like, so far a good portion of the show has taken part in this family's glass blowing studio. But so far it seems like it could be interesting, but at the same time, like, I'm not sure I want to continue it because it just sounds like it's going to turn into some awkward teenage love triangle type shit. And
Did I hear correctly that it's not, in fact, a love triangle, but like a love circle? Like everyone's nearly in love with everybody.
Okay, nice. Okay, I'll agree with that. It's more like a love circle, but it's like
it just lost 5 points.
No, and I don't blame you. It's good so far, but I think this would have been something that would have been more up Nate's alley, considering he's the one that's into the cutesy romance shit.
Well, if he loves cutesy romance and a bit of rape, I'm sure he's going to love Love Stage. That's not to divert away from your topic there too much, but I did actually hear that there was a little bit of rape going on in episode 3 of Love Stage. Blown away by it. I'm not sure how this could be. It's like Valve Rave all over again. It's like,
I keep hearing people say that it's actually pretty funny, but
hey, I like Valve Rave.
Yeah, but there was rape in that, wasn't there?
Maybe in the parts that I haven't seen, because I dropped it. I dropped it when they stopped airing it, and then I just have not watched the rest since.
Ty, have you ever watched like Anohana?
No, I've heard of that a few places though.
Okay, like I actually kind of liked it, but it had the kind of similar thing where when I was watching it, it seemed like it was just kind of like turning into like this person loves this person, and this person loves them, and it kind of went around like that. But I don't know, it actually turned out being okay, and I was wondering if it would be similar to that, but I don't know. I guess you can't really make a comparison.
Yeah, so, I can't, because I have not seen that, but within the first 3 episodes, I'm not, first 3 episodes of Glasslip, I'm not entirely sure I want to continue it. I may give it another episode or 2, because...
Are there signs that there might be some potential laying in there that just hasn't been tapped into yet?
Yeah, I just really don't want to suffer through, like I said, awkward teenage confessing love circle type shit. Alright
then, so a possible recommendation from Hiro there, so... Possibly, if you like Slice of Life, maybe you should watch it?
Yeah, definitely if you like Slice of Life. Alright, yeah. For a Slice of Life, it does seem like it's going to be really good. And I'm not saying I hate all Slice of Lifes, because I did manage to watch most of K-On! I don't know why I didn't finish that, but I enjoyed that, so it's not that I dislike...
You don't know why? Really, Hiro? You don't know why? You don't really?
It's been a while since I've seen it, so I don't even remember the majority of it, except for like the 2 characters' names. But anyways,
it's unfair me saying that because I haven't seen it. It just seems really too sugary and over the top. I did see a really good gif of it though. Like I think all of them were sat around the table eating lunch, and then one of them was about to dig into a cake, and then another person like comes over and like robs the strawberry off the top of it and eats it, and then she starts crying. It takes a couple of seconds for it to sink in. So like she's just sat there watching the other girl, well, still looking at a cake, and about like you count like 3, 2, 1, and then the tears very slowly start trailing down her face. Like, oh.
I actually kind of wanted to watch Kyun.
To be honest,
it looks pretty cute.
The music's pretty good from it. The one track I do remember is "Don't Say Lazy," which I think is the ED. That's a really, really good song. And my favorite Japanese band, Scandal, done a cover of it. So all smiles on my end.
Well, it's like a slice of life, and I do actually like them. Like that's what everyone says about Free, apparently too. It's like K-On!, except instead of little girls, it's teenage boys. It's the exact same shit. And I just like it because it's comfy to watch.
Well, I look at all these slice of life shows and I'm thinking, oh, this could be livened up quite a bit with some machetes, maybe a couple of pistols, an RPG.
That's not the point, Dave.
I know, but that's genuinely what I think when I watch these slice of life shows, like The Pet Girl or Sakura. So I do really like that show, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, this could be livened up with an AK-47 or 2. It'd be pretty cool if that happened.
Or 2.
One or 2, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be fair if one had one, unless the other one had a Kalashnikov or something like that. Anyway, I digress. Tokyo Ghoul.
Yes.
Yes. What do we think?
I guarantee as soon as this podcast is over, I'm going to go look for the new episode.
It's going to be out, I think, in an hour. Let me just check on Horrible Subs.
Yeah, it should be soon.
Crunchyroll. Yeah.
Well, I've just been going with Horrible Subs because waiting for Kami is too hard.
We are 10 minutes away from Tokyo Ghoul and an hour away from Zankyou no Terror. Oh, tonight's going to be so good. What a shame I have to be in bed early and I can't get drunk. Tokyo Ghoul is a psychological thriller horror anime produced by Studio Pierrot And Funimation, according to what I've read, I'm not entirely certain how much of a role or a hand in this the Funimation has had. I'm sure if you're curious enough, you can go online and check this information out for yourself. It's been directed by Shuei Morita, who, to my knowledge, hasn't really had a hand in anything major so far in his career, and to my understanding is a new kid on the block. I mean, I could be wrong on this, but as ever, please feel free to check out the information for yourself, should you wish to, and let me know in the comments section. Quick outline of the show. The world is inhabited by humans and ghouls. Ghouls look and act like humans for the most part, but however, they can only survive by eating the flesh of humans, and I think other ghouls as well, right, Cassie?
I don't know if they can actually eat other ghouls. Most of them seem opposed to it, because they talk about it like, oh, it's cannibalism, that's disgusting. I know at some points.
But they really were like bunch, like a rich society, like a posh bunch, so maybe they would just look down on cannibalism.
Like, I'm not sure, but there was like, I don't want to say spoilers, but there was one point where a woman said, oh, cannibalism, I'm not sure if I'd be down for that, and she was a ghoul. Because she thought that, what's his face? Fucking names are hard. Kaneki. Kaneki? I don't know how to pronounce it.
I think that's it. So yeah, I think they can...
She was opposed to eating him when she thought that he was a ghoul. Full ghoul, I guess. I don't know what the spoiler limits are. Fuck, I don't care.
I don't think anything way too major's happened up to now that we could spoil.
Yeah, but yeah, at the same too, in the last episode, there was the thing where they said they were going to cannibalize one dude. I don't know. I don't actually know.
So maybe they can eat it, but it's just frowned upon.
Yeah, maybe it's just like a taboo thing.
No, it's kind of like actual cannibalism. You can do it, but it is frowned upon socially.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the focus of the show up to now has been on our main character, Kaneki. He was just your average quiet kid, loves to read and does well in school, the usual. First episode, he gets the balls to ask a girl out on a date. He goes on a date, he has a marvellous time, walks her back home, turns out she's a girl and she just wants to eat him. So, he's having a pretty bad day up to now. Well, actually, no, it was kind of okay, then it got really bad. Kind of done a hold of 180 on him. When he tries running away, and he ends up at a construction site. Now, someone or something shows up at the construction site while this is happening. He does something to the half-formed building in the construction site, and it collapses completely onto Kaneki, and it injures Kaneki, and it kills the girl, who we come to know as Rize? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Rize? Yeah.
Rize? I don't know.
When they get to the hospital, the doctor who's placed in charge of operating on Kaneki makes an emergency decision. Not knowing that the girl was a ghoul, he decides he transfers an organ or two from her into Kaneki. This turns him into a half-ghoul, half-human. So the show up to now has been following Kaneki, learning how to deal with and accepting what he's become. We're also following a small society of ghouls who are trying their best to try and live normal lives, at least anyway, and they're trying to survive with, what's the best way to put this, without impacting the lives of the humans around them so much. I've got that right, haven't I, Cass?
Also, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was a bit of...
Because there's like the different, like, is it wards that they're in?
Yes, the 20th
Because the one
ward.
Kaneki is in is the one, like, they go and they, like, pick up, like, suicide victims and shit.
Yeah, that's what they're...
But I feel like different... I don't know, like, I haven't read any of the manga, and I feel like that clears a lot of things up and tells you exactly how things work, but...
I'm not one for reading manga, so I can only have a... I can only really tell you what happens in the anime itself. I mean, like, if...
Yeah, that's my point of view as well, so...
I'd say if you're curious enough, like, the manga's out there, go ahead and read it. So
just people might tell us that we're being really fucking dumb because we haven't read the manga and we're just like, I think this is something
Archer,
I'm not sure.
I think you'll find if you read page 53 of chapter 2 of the manga, you'll find it.
I don't give a fuck. If the anime doesn't
Also,
tell
like,
me,
when
then
you
I
mentioned
don't
the
know.
doctor, I'm still suspicious of that because I feel like that was, like, fucking fixed. I don't know. Like, why would you be like, hey, this girl got impaled by an I-beam, but we should probably use her body parts to fix this guy up?
I don't. Maybe the reason why I was acting so suspicious was like the girl didn't have a donut card, so maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I could get in trouble.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
That's just still something in the back of my mind. It seems kind of weird that got set up, unless it was just, coincidence for plot. But
I just think he's just uneasy about doing something that's technically illegal, but otherwise saving a life. I think he's clueless on this one. It'd be a pretty cool plot twist if it turns out he was a ghoul, or if he was or he is a human playing around with ghouls.
Well, they talked about the other one-eyed ghoul and stuff too. So
yeah, that one's very interesting. There has certainly been a little bit of a dip. I mean, like the past 3 episodes, I don't know, maybe episode 5 was pretty good, but there was a bit of a dip, and it has been keeping up with the momentum and the intensity of the first 2 episodes, and it has been threatening to go down the path of villain of the week, which I'm not too happy about. But the mention of the other half human, half ghoul that you mentioned, plus what we get to see in the OP, like characters we see in the OP that we haven't seen in the show yet. I'm convinced this will pick up again. I'm convinced we're going to have a main antagonist at some point. But here's where my main interest lies in the show: is the antagonist going to be human or ghoul? I mean, it's easy enough to say it's going to be a ghoul, but from what I'm seeing right now, most of the ghouls are just trying to live normal lives. Of course, sure, we got Rize, the blonde-haired dude and the blue-haired dude who are just complete fucking psychopaths, but I'm getting the feeling that the human detectives who have been on the scene in Ward 20, as we said before, they're probably going to turn out to be bad guys as well. But kind of in the same vein that they, like, both sides feel that they're doing the right thing, but neither of them are right, if you get me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so as I said, I also get the feeling this is going to be asking the viewer these questions as well and leaving it down to viewer interpretation as to what you think, who you think the villains are. Again, we're not too far in yet, so probably not going to find out for at least a couple of 12 episode show, right?
Is that it?
I think so, yeah, I think so.
Oh. Like, I was going to say, too, like, you said that it kind of dipped a bit, and that's what it did for me. Like, I watched the first 2 episodes, and I got, like, really into it, and I was like, this is a really cool concept. I like this. This could be really cool. Episode 3 and 4, I was kind of just like, I feel like I'm not getting enough. I don't know. Like, it was, like, cool and all, but it wasn't that interesting. And then episode 5, this last episode, I was like, yeah. Like, it's definitely the anime I'm probably the most interested in this season.
Out of the 3 shows I'm watching, I'm very, very interested in all 3 of them, but this is probably my least favourite out of the 3 of them, I would say.
See, and I know which 3 you're talking about, and I'd probably say that Tokyo Ghoul would be number 1, then Zankyou no Terror,
Yep.
and then Aldnoah 0.
Yep.
That would be my order for those 3.
I would say Zankyou no Terror, Aldnoah 0, and then Tokyo Ghoul. I think Zankyou no Terror's just got something to it. I mean, I'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Right, just characters, there's quite a few of them. I really like Kirishima, but that's because I've got a thing for tsundere girls. She's a really cool character. I like her style.
I like her.
I love her role of like being the reluctant guide and how that's playing out. Potential romance budding in the distant future, perhaps? Very unlikely that that's going to happen, but it's just a hypothetical.
Well, just in the, like, she will eat human food, and, like, for her friends, because she's like, they made this for me, and it's just like, you know, she's actually really trying.
But,
like, there's something more about her that we don't know, obviously, but, like, yeah.
Yeah, I think she just doesn't like Kaneki. Maybe she's just got a problem with him. She just likes everybody else and not him.
I don't know. I don't think that's it.
I think they'll grow to like each other secretly.
I don't think she hates him.
Again, I think it's just the fact that he's been brought into their society now and she's had to be, as I said before, become the reluctant guide to him. Mm-hmm. Maybe she feels like he's eating too much of her social talent. I don't know. And I'm really glad we got a glimpse of her power. Makes me kind of hyped for episode 6, which is going to be out in about 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Itching to watch that now. The soundtrack's really starting to kick in now. It's not amazing, but it's decent at least anyway. I'm not a huge fan of the OP or the ED, but that's not to say they're terrible. It's just not my cup of tea.
The first time I heard the OP, I wasn't too fond of it, but like it's actually really grown on me. I kind of like it, and I think the visuals of the OP are really nice. So I watch it every time. Yeah. So that's something I'd skip.
I still tend to skip them. I think the ED is probably better than the OP, but again, go ahead and check them out for yourself. You'll find them somewhere on YouTube, I'm sure. Problems with the show, yes, there are some. As I said, there's a bit of a dip in the first couple of episodes. It just didn't have the same oomph or tension or impact that the first 2 episodes did. But as I said, I am utterly convinced this is going to change. I know one thing that, Valk, you hated in particular, which made me laugh.
I ranted about that.
The inconsistency of injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah. I got a paper cut and I'm a ghoul, but I couldn't stab myself with a kitchen knife.
So, as Valk just said then, Kaneki tries to stab himself, but didn't put a scratch on him, and then yet a paper cut manages to injure him?
No, but I looked into it, and that is just...
No research.
Something wrong, because in the manga, it's, what's his face? Who's the guy? The villain? What's his name?
The blue-haired dude.
Yeah, I don't remember his name at all. I can only remember, like, the 2-3 main characters.
But we'll just call him Blue Dude for now.
Yeah, in the manga, what happened was when he, like, reached across the table to pass him something, he cut him with his nail.
That makes a lot more sense.
Which is a ghoul hurting another ghoul. Yeah, that makes sense. Why would you remove that? Like, for what purpose?
I've got no idea.
Yeah.
Maybe it might be explained sometime in the future, but it seans like such a trivial little detail that it probably won't be explained. Other problems, I think the censoring is really bad and comical at times.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I understand why it has to be done, and I accept we're going to...
Well, it's on actual television, so...
Yeah. I mean, I expect in the future we're going to get some kind of a BD or a DVD release in the future that's going to be totally uncensored, but because the imagery has been really gruesome up to now, I mean, is it necessarily a good thing? It seems like I'm contradicting myself here, and I am to an extent.
Hasn't been that gruesome.
Call me a girl for being squeamish if you want, but...
No, I'm just kidding.
It makes sense. It's people eating other people, but, like, it hasn't been... Like, I thought it was actually done pretty tastefully, for the most part.
Yeah, it has
compared
been.
to a lot of things.
Except for one thing. You can't just change the filter when there's an absurd amount of blood on the screen. Why is
Let's make everything cyan.
and blue and it's so horrible. It doesn't make any sense.
It honestly is funny. Every time that happens, I just kind of laugh.
I mean,
whatever.
All things considered, I still say this is a great show up to now. I'm not going to rate a show that isn't finished yet, so what I will say is yes, I will most definitely continue to watch it. Unless it nosedives considerably in the next few episodes, I intend to see it through to the end. And yes, I am going to recommend it, but what I will say is that this is a 17 plus rated show in Japan. It's graphic and it's gory, blood and guts guaranteed. If you don't like violence of that, or if you're just squeamish or anything like that, or you're younger age, stay away from it. This is not for you. Valk, what would be your final comments to make on Tokyo Ghoul?
You had mentioned something about the masks just now.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, that was something we were just discussing.
Technical difficulties. Please stop by.
The masks thing that happened in episode 3?
Yeah, I'll say episode 3 as well.
I think it was actually episode 3, but yeah, just the fact that hasn't really... they haven't shown anything about it yet, and that's actually something I was really interested in when they brought up the idea.
And the fact that he's only getting a half mask, and this is somehow to conceal his identity, and I'm like, why
well,
not?
we've seen ghouls wearing masks, but it was, I don't know. I want to see an instance where he pulls out his, and I want to...
I mean, is it really necessary to build a custom-built one if you're just protecting your identity? Spend a $5 and buy a balaclava, for fuck's sake. I mean, come on. Surely you people must have some kind of tight budget. You all have one coffee shop between all of you. The profits cannot be that good. Yeah. But
yeah, that was just like a point we were discussing in the...
So final comments, possible recommendations?
Yeah, like I would definitely recommend it. I've got like, I don't know, since the last episode, like it's kind of been like, at first it was like really high up and I was like, yeah, this is going to be great. And then episode 3 and 4, it kind of dropped a bit and I was like, there's not a whole lot happening and it's not really clear what I should be interested in here. And then, I don't know, it's kind of picking back up for me and I'm really excited to end this podcast and go see the next episode.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's great. That's great that I'm not saying it's not great. It's not great, but it's great. Hiru, what else have you been watching from summer this year? Fuck all.
Yeah, no, kinda. I mean, it's kind of fucked up to say, but I literally just caught up on what I have been watching this morning, so it's still vaguely fresh, I hope. But I've been watching, what is it, Persona 4 Golden, the animation. So far I enjoyed. I didn't get too far back into it. There's only 4 episodes apparently, because the next one's in an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, today's gonna be so great.
It's definitely good so far. I mean, it seems like for people who haven't seen Persona 4, the animation, or played the game, it's going to be kind of confusing, kind of like BlazBlue just expected you to just know shit, and it's really kind of vague. But at the same time, I was talking with one of my other friends about this, who's really deep into Persona and absolutely loves the series. He was telling me that it's supposed to be like an alternate timeline to what happened in Persona 4. So that kind of cleared up some of the confusion for me, because there's the one character, Narukami Yu, who throughout throughout the majority of Persona 4, he's just this brick wall. Like, he's got no emotions, he's very unpersonable. He's like, if somebody is having a bad time, he just kind of gives them this blank stare like, I don't fucking care. But within like the first episode or two of Persona 4 Golden, he's this completely different person, and it's just like, wow, what the fuck am I watching? Is this even the same show? The one thing, and I hope I can work past this, but I need to go compare this to Persona 4, but the eyes in Persona 4 Golden are making me want to punch shit, because it looks like they have fish heads. Their eyes are like 6 feet apart. I'm trying to, like, I look at this character, like Chie's face or Yukiko's face, or even any of them really. I'm looking at their face and they do a full frontal just of their face, and you look straight at them and it's like, you could land an airplane in between your eyes. I mean, if you look at it, looks like okay, if they were trying to go for realism, or maybe not so like, the 10-foot wide eyes, gigantic faces that are just completely not aesthetically pleasing to look at. I think they kind of missed the mark because, like I said, you look at somebody's face straight on and it's just like, if there was a human that looked like you, you'd probably be sent to some sort of like leper colony or something because you just, or like, okay, what the Spartans used to do with their deformed young, they'd throw them out to the wolves. That's exactly what it reminds me of. They look so deformed with their way their eyes are placed. It's just like, oh God. That's not even something surgery can fix.
I think I may have found another anime that's very similar to that. Here we go. Okay, I've just uploaded it. Have a look at that. I'll pop it in the video.
Alright.
Is it anything like that?
What the fuck? Where did you get that?
Kinda. Except the mouth isn't so
got another
retardedly
one.
placed.
That's not actually from it,
No,
is
that's
it?
not
That's
Persona
gotta
4.
be edited. Yeah, no, that's Cardcaptor Sakura, but that's... Yes!
Oh God.
Oh, quality. Definitely have another one around that's even worse than that, but I can't find
But
it.
I don't know, I don't remember Cardcaptor Sakura looking bad at all, so...
Well, it was in a quality thread on A, so...
Maybe. I don't know, it could have been.
Somebody might have just gotten lucky. That might have only been on the screen for like 2 seconds, went, print screen.
Also, that is like my all-time nostalgia anime of all time.
Take a look at that. That's Narukami U.
Let's have a look.
And
Jesus Christ.
dude, it looks like he's got a fucking like his eyes are forced
I'm looking at
apart.
this. I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking, has he got tectonic plates in between his eyes or something? Looks like a fucking lizard.
It could be worse.
Oh, here we go. Here's the little girl.
It could be, but not a lot.
Here's his supposed like little sister Nanako.
Oh.
Her face is just as bad.
I'll be popping these in the video as well.
That's not too bad.
No, that's pretty bad.
Oh, no.
It's less
is
bad than the other
it's not
picture.
Here we go.
great.
This is the image that made me. I was just like, oh, good God. Just what? That's Chie. Oh my God.
Whoa.
Okay, that's...
You can parallel park a double decker.
That's what I'm saying. There is like no nose definition to at least fill in the gap. She has a tiny little button nose, and just she looks like she has a fish head.
There's so much vacant space in that. You could
Yeah, that is actually really awkward.
you'd probably move a small family into that space.
Oh God.
My God.
Oh God.
Like, it doesn't even look like the animation is that bad. It's just...
No, it's just certain
character design
angles.
is just
I'm going somewhat
awkward as
cross-eyed trying to make eye contact with this picture.
But anyway,
Alright.
so yes, I've been watching
Alright.
that. I really enjoy
Wow.
it so far. It's definitely interesting compared to the original show because of how they've accelerated it and the character changes. And there is a new character, completely new protagonist, I want to say, but I can't quite tell if she's pro or antagonist. But so there is enough of a divergence from the original show that it is going to be different and probably worth watching. But like I said, I have to work past the fucking landing strip for eyes or for a nose bridge. I might have to like look away from the screen and just cover it up and read the subtitles for a second if they ever do a full frontal shot like that.
You know what, Iru? I'm not even going to ask if you'd recommend the show. I'm just going to simply ask for the viewers and the listeners to just take a look at those pictures and judge it for yourself.
I think right then you need to flash that last Chie image again and just be like, yeah.
Dave, you gotta go through and you gotta edit them so the eyes are even further apart.
Just take them off the
hear
face
that
and
now?
put them
You've got
out in the
another
middle of the air.
Yeah.
All right then. My God.
So
speaking of really bad character design, I did see some print screens for Sailor Moon Crystal.
Oh my God. I've still only seen the first episode. I'll watch other ones, but like they're only like airing one every 2 weeks or something really dumb.
Yeah.
So it's not something I'm really staying caught up on. But yeah, holy shit.
We'll go back to that at another time then.
Yeah. I'll wait for like Nate to be around too, because he's been watching
There we
it.
go. I told nobody to ring me, and I'm getting a phone call. Yep, I have missed out on my haircut. Oh well, I live. Anyway.
Oh, you don't need one, buddy. You're a sexy beast no matter what.
Well, I know that. I don't need to be told that. I just prefer haircuts. Alright, so, I've got Momo Kyun sword. Sorry to say, well, I'm not really sorry to say, I haven't caught up on this yet, but I will do in time for the next podcast, probably, maybe. I managed to watch the first 3 minutes of the first episode, and it was just this audio lag in the videos I downloaded, so I've had to re-download it, giving me an excuse to Postpone it for a few more days.
That's a good use of your bandwidth, having to download it twice.
Oh, third time, actually. I downloaded the 1080p version and thought it might have just been an issue with the 1080p
Why would you do
version.
that?
And then I downloaded the 720p version, and yeah. And I don't want to hear no shit from people saying, oh, he's downloading it. Listen, if you're one of these guys who thinks the show is worth being paid for, you're the ones who are going to be buying all the figurines and the Blu-rays right off the bat at full price because you've got a thing for double G tits. I don't want to hear it. I don't think me not paying for it is going to impact it whatsoever. So there you go. That's why I'm not watching it. That's why I'm not paying for it in any way. I don't think these people deserve money. That's based off the first 3 minutes, and I'm convinced I'm going to stay right on that one.
I have no reason to argue.
I'm going to be
with that.
amazed if you finish it.
I'm just going to watch the first 3 episodes, and I'm so fucking done. I said I wanted the Steam game, but I changed my mind. I'd much rather...
I'm probably going to finish Bakamatsu Rock, and apparently I'm the only person caught up on the anime I was told to watch, so go me.
Ego was told to watch a bad mech show. I think he's caught up on that, but go you. How was Bakamatsu Rock?
First episode, I kind of got into it, and I was like, this could be really cool. The things I like about it is that the music's kind of catchy. It's not really interesting, but it's catchy, and I can dig it. And also, it's very colorful. I like the visuals. Everything is really colorful, and it's kind of neat to just kind of watch. But after watching the second, third, fourth episodes, I was kind of losing a bit of interest. But it kind of picked up again in the last few. It's not a good storyline by any means, but it's kind of I don't know. It's kind of just fun. I'm gonna finish it because it's just I'm kind of having fun watching it. And
what was this about a naked all-man rock concert that you told me about?
No, there was the bathhouse episode.
Oh, of course it's got a bathhouse episode.
Except it was with all men. And they were
Of course it is.
the best way to experience rock music is naked.
Of course it is, of course.
Yeah,
right,
no,
okay.
it was kind of funny, and it was just kind of when I was watching it, I was like, what? I wasn't expecting this, but okay.
Bit of service for the ladies there, and a bit of rock music to go along with it.
I guess so. I don't know, every time they use their fucking... Jeez, I don't even know the name. I just watched 4 episodes last night. It's Soul Power or something. When they get really passionate. Yeah, when they get really passionate about music, their shirts fly off and they start rocking out. And it's I don't know. It's really fun and colorful and...
Of course it is, of course.
I'd recommend if you really don't care about plot, because the plot is questionable.
Questionable or non-existent.
There's pop music and there's rock music and they're battling it out, but...
Right, okay. Of course they are.
I don't know, I haven't heard much about it other than being told to watch it. Is it actually popular in any way? I don't know, have you guys heard anything about it?
I've not heard any
Not a bit.
popular stories about it. I can tell you what studio it's made by.
Studio Dean. And I've never
Studio
heard
Dean,
of that
the
place.
same people who made Fate Stay Night, and we all know what I think about
really?
that.
They're the ones that made that? Okay, well,
Yep.
yeah, that's probably why I have not heard of them, because it was Fate Stay Night.
Yeah, I don't know, Dave, you told me to watch it because you didn't know if you should. I feel like you wouldn't really like it much. I'm just kind of watching it because, whatever, there's music and it's kind of fun, and I'm reading Pokemon while watching it, and it's okay. I'll finish it, but I don't know if it's really that good. I'll let you know when it ends.
I might try out the OST at some point then, maybe.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Whoa, we're nearly at 50 minutes. Okay, we gotta try and blaze
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
that's what I
Oh,
pointed
God, there's
out
a
when we
knock
were
on
at
the-
30, and I was like, wow.
Right, okay. Aldnoah Zero is the next show I want to give an impression of. I
Right.
really hope I can do it justice. Alright, so Aldnoah Zero is a mecha sci-fi action romance anime, although I've yet to see any actual romance. If it's been tagged with romance, I'm sure we'll get some eventually, just not yet. The show takes place in an alternate universe in 2014. In 1972, an ancient alien hypergate was discovered on the surface of the moon. I feel like we should get Bill Nye to read out this description for us. Using this technology, humanity begins to migrate to Mars and settling there. After settlers discovered additional advanced technology, the Verse Empire was founded, which claimed Mars and its secrets for themselves. Later, the Verse Empire declared war on Earth, and in 1999, a battle on the moon's surface caused the hypergate to explode, shattering the moon and scattering remnants into debris belts around the planet. Cut off from Mars, the remnants of the Verse Empire established massive orbital space stations within the debris, and a ceasefire was established. Now, 15 years later in 2014, the Princess of the Vez Empire arrived on Earth as its ambassador for peace, and as an ambassador for peace, she was naturally assassinated within the first 15 minutes of the episode. So yeah, that's it pretty much.
So,
there's some sort of conspiracy going on. Like, quite a few of the Martian Knights, who I'm going to assume are sort of like the higher ups in the Martian military, they are just absolutely hell-bent on destroying Earth. So a few of them have took it upon themselves to invent a reason to invade, hence why the princess was assassinated. Our main character, Ino, and his school chums have been preparing for this day for a long, long time, as part of their school curriculum, I should mention as well. However, they have been trained to pilot mechs, and as the show prefers to call them, cataphracts. Unfortunately for them, their cataphracts are just pretty much like lumps of scrap metal compared to the Martian cataphracts. So, not long into the second episode, Mars has made significant gains on Earth, claimed large chunks of territory for itself. But we're more focused on Japan, though, where the assassination attempt took place. And for reasons unexplained, that's where the ambassador for peace was sent to meet with the nations of the world. Why Japan was chosen, I don't know. It's a conspiracy, I tell you. As it happens, a double was assassinated rather than the princess, so she's still alive, and nobody in the royal Martian family
Nice spoiler alerts, Dave.
knows about this. This all happened within the first 2 episodes. This is not spoiler. I promise to anyone who's listening, this is not spoiler. So Ino, as it happens, is a freaking genius when it comes to piloting cataphracts.
He's autistic.
Okay, genius or autistic, there's 2 different ways of looking at it. I prefer to go with the least offensive version and call him a genius. So he's a genius, he's coming up with plans. So we've had a few moments up to now where he's managed to save the lives of countless people, and these brilliant mech battles. Oh my god, they are so good. Anyway, so there's the basic outline of the show. I've got to say, I am loving it. I haven't felt like this watching an anime since Titan, and that was a year ago as well, so it's been far too long and long overdue. As I say, I'm loving the action. It's incredible, and it's gorgeous to look at. These mechs might be CG, but make no mistake about it, they look beyond stunning. So, A1 Pictures, mad props to you. You are absolutely excelling yourself this time. Valk, what do you think about the mechs and overall how they look? I know you've said you've been watching it.
Yeah, okay, so in general, like, the reason I didn't pick it up to begin with is I don't really like mechs. Like, honestly, they never interest me, and that's part of the reason why I didn't watch a fucking...
Code Geass?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, like, I'm not a huge fan of mechs. Like, I think they work with this, and it's not overwhelming or anything. Like, I do like Aldnoah Zero. I'm enjoying it. Yeah. But just...
It's good to hear.
I definitely don't think it's as exciting as Titan was for me when I first watched it. And...
As exciting, no, but what I meant by that is I haven't felt this, as excited as I am now. I think Titan overall is probably a more exciting show, but...
Mm-hmm. I know, like, I do like the combat scenes. I like the soundtrack. The soundtrack is great. Like, that's probably my favorite part so far.
The soundtrack is, as expected, a masterpiece. Hideyuki Sawano is pulling out all the stops on this as he did on Titan. And yeah, I have heard a lot of people mention that the soundtrack is very, very similar to Titan. And it is to a certain degree, but that in no way makes it bad. If anything, it makes it even more amazing that he can have a repeat success. In my opinion, anyway.
See, my problem with it is, like, I'm going to watch it to the end. Like, I'm enjoying it. I do like it. But I don't like the characters much so far. Like, I don't like the main character.
No,
he's not interesting.
I don't like any of the characters up to now, but I think a lot of them are interesting. I think they will become interesting.
Yeah, like, what's her face? The one whose father was killed? Like, Rayette?
Oh, the rebel kid.
Yeah, the one whose father kind of orchestrated the like, she will probably end up being cool. I'm sure the princess will be okay, and I don't know. Slane might be okay. He's
little maid Chan's pretty entertaining as well. She's probably the comic relief of the show up to now.
But yeah, like, I don't like the main character. Like, he has no emotions.
I don't either, but I do genuinely get the feeling that, like, something might have happened in his past to make him act the way that he does. If he isn't autistic, of course. So maybe once that gets explained, if it does get explained, might make him more interesting.
But yeah, and something you mentioned, like, I think it was yesterday we were talking about it, is that, like, the people didn't really react to this entire crisis appropriately. Like, nobody did.
Yeah, it's not every day your local Martian army pays a visit, and they just don't react to it at all. In fact, as you said then, none of the Earthlings seem to react to it very well. It's just, this is happening. No, it's okay. We'll just go and live on a boat in the middle of the ocean. It'll be fine. Sure, we'll never run out of food in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, like that's why like the first episode actually got me pretty stoked because like I watched like was it New York that the one Martian ship landed in, and it just annihilated everything.
Yep.
Like you watched everyone get turned to dust, and I was like, this is what I wanted because that was part of the reason why I liked Titan when I first watched it was because the first episode gave you the sense of hopelessness.
Yeah.
And it was like, what are you going to do? And that's what I thought that was leading into because everything got annihilated. It's like, wow, like all these people just died. How do you fight this? And then it just kind of turned into...
Don't worry, we have a secret weapon. We have one really, really autistic kid with a really crap mech. He will save us all.
Exactly, and that's part of my problem with it. It's just like, I don't know. It's still really fun. I still like it. I'm gonna watch it, but I don't think it's the best anime of the year.
I just want to go back, before I give my final impression, just want to go back to the soundtrack just a little bit. I love the second ED to this. I mean, if it even is an ED, it was the one that I sent you. It was the ED for the 4th episode, if I'm remembering correctly, and it's just utterly fantastic. Like, shout out to the boys and girls on YouTube who have made an extended version of this track, and I'm sorry to hear that it got taken down off YouTube, but it probably should have. But yeah, I can't wait for the extended version of this track. I love it. I better have some kind of bitchin' organ solo in the middle of it, otherwise I'll be very disappointed. I would have left a link in the description for all of you guys to go and listen to it, but... don't have, it's been taken down, so there's nothing I can do about that. Just watch the show and listen to it then. Yeah, every time a fight begins and the music kicks in, I'm sat here and I'm getting butterflies in my stomach and I'm wishing that the fight will never end. One, because the music's beautiful, and two, because every fight is just so intense with so much riding on it. To that note, I do want to give it a little criticism. The fight scenes are entirely too short. I understand there are time constraints and you can only pack so much into a 12-episode series, but... I am hoping we get longer fights as the stakes become higher, become more serious, and we get bigger antagonists. As I said, not a fan of the main character. He's very monotone. He sounds like he's bored. He's autistic. I don't know.
Yeah, like he watched a friend die, and then all he had to say was, a friend of mine died, so I better avenge him.
Do you know what the most horrible thing about that was? Like, his friends didn't really react either. And then after the main fight, they all started talking shit about him.
Like, I feel like that's something people should care. I don't know, it was kind of in like he was an asshole, and man, how upset would he be to hear that, he died and we're still talking shit.
I'm like, he died an hour ago and you're talking shit about him?
Like, that's part of the reason why I just can't get attached to it, is because these people aren't acting like people. Why aren't they making us feel like there are humans and there are Martians? It's just like, well, these are alien and these are alien. Like...
Anyway, so to that note, the show is incredible. I think this and even if the characters are shite, everything else is great. I think this and Zankyou no Terror are probably going to be duking it out for anime of the season. I'm recommending this to everyone, even if you don't like... I don't know how
you rate this above Tokyo Ghoul.
Tokyo Ghoul isn't giving me the warm fuzzies. I'd recommend this to everyone, even if you don't like mech. Just give this a try. I think it'll surprise you. All praise and glory to the supreme living organism known as Gen Urobuchi, our Lord and Savior and the creator of this show and Fate Zero. All praise be unto him. You may get the sense that because the kids in the show wear school uniforms that we're going to get a little bit of like daily high school life routines, but believe me, there's none of that. Don't
worry, they don't act like people.
Yeah, they don't act like people. They're high school kids in age and uniform only, and that's it. And hell yes, I'm going to see this through to the end, provided it keeps up with these amazing action scenes, and I keep getting the warm fuzzies. I can't see any reason why I would stop watching this. So, allow me to finish off my weekly watches with what I think is probably it is definitely my favourite show up to now, Zankyou no Terror, or if you're in Japan, Terror in Resonance, or if you're in Japan, it's called Terror in Tokyo. If you're anywhere else in the world, it's called Terror in Resonance. And it's just generally called Zankyou no Terror, so fucking pick a name and stick to it. This is a psychological thriller set in what I'm going to assume is modern-day Tokyo, produced by Studio Mappa and directed by Shinichiro Watanabe. As some of you may recognize his name, this is the man behind Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, Kids on the Slope, and Space Dandy. This guy has a history of directing some of the biggest names in anime history, so as you can expect, a lot of people are going to be going into this expecting a huge hit. Will it stack up to the previous titles? I know I went into this expecting a lot. The soundtrack is being produced by Yoko Kanno, who is another person working on the show with some huge titles behind her, such as Cowboy Bebop, Wolf's Rain, Ghost in the Shell, Macross Plus, and Cassie's favourite, Cardcaptor Sakura. So does the soundtrack stack up? Well, basic plot of the show is we've got two young men named 9 and 12. the parents were really imaginative. I'm going to guess that both
That's
around
not their actual names, I don't think.
It is. They've made up some names. Have you been watching it?
You weren't loved, so your names are numbers. Basically.
I do think that was the case, but I'm not entirely certain how old they are. I'm going to guess 15, 16. They break into some kind of facility in Tokyo and they steal, I think it's plutonium.
Plutonium.
Then they use this plutonium to make bombs, plant it in various locations around Tokyo, and then they put videos on the show's version of YouTube, I'm going to assume, or something like that. I'm sorry for being racist. Anyway. And they're taunting the police with riddles. If they can solve the riddles, they find the location of the bomb, they have a chance to defuse it. If not, well, kaboom, I suppose. The police didn't get the chance to solve the first riddle because they didn't take the first video very seriously. I mean, why would you? It's just two teenagers wearing fucking Power Rangers masks and waving their arms about, my name is Sphinx 001, around like weirdos, and they're claiming they've planted a bomb somewhere, and you're like, fucking nutters. Anyway, the police then draft in a veteran of the police force called Shibazaki, I think his name is.
Yeah, that's his name.
A man who's spent for the past few years working in the police archives.
Although I think it's like after the second riddle that he becomes like the main...
Yeah, it was the second riddle he figured out on his own. Then he
figured it out, but it was too late.
I figured out the riddle, it's like, well, it's funny you mentioned that because the bomb's just gone off. Where were you half an hour ago? But yeah, after the second bomb was planted, as we said then, the two lads, they put out another riddle. They call themselves Sphinx 1 and 2. Shibazaki figures it out, but unfortunately too late. Then the police draft him into the main force, and he becomes the main antagonist to the two lads, making it his mission to figure out who they are, why they're doing it, what their motives are, capture them, all that stuff.
And he's got like his own like personal motives and stuff too that they explain.
Yeah, I mean the show's definitely got like a really heavy Death Note kind of vibe going on. At least one of the two main characters has a very high level of intelligence. He seems to be the one creating the plans, planting the bombs, making sure they never get caught.
I feel like they're both really smart. They deal with things differently.
Just a bit of a loon.
Yeah, the what's it? 12 is the happy one, right? Like that's how he's dealing with things. So we got 9 is like our light Yagami. 9 is the glasses one.
So he's like Yagami. Imagine that. Then we've got Shibazaki, who since joining the main police force, he's figured out all of the riddles, wants to bring them to justice, calls them out on live television. There's your L. But I don't know if it's directly copying off Death Note. I mean, the similarities drawn between the two.
I don't know, when I was watching it, I definitely drew similarities, but I don't think it is that similar.
I'm loving the show so far. It's incredible. Mm-hmm. I'm just getting this feeling watching it that I can't quite describe. Like, for example, in episode 4, 12 and Lisa, who is our main female character I haven't mentioned yet, on a motorbike, and they're just flying down the motorway, and the song kicks in, and I just got blown away by it with the feels and the gorgeous animation and everything. I don't know why. I think I might actually be in love. I don't know. I can't describe it properly.
See, that's my thing with it right now, is I don't feel like enough has been explained. I'm in love with it right now. It's great, but I need more information.
That's what I was going to get into next. I think the characters are all very unique and interesting, but we've only just scratched the surface with them.
Exactly.
All of our main characters seem to have these deep, dark pasts that we just haven't got into yet. I can't wait to see it. 9 and 12 seems to have spent their childhood in some sort of research facility. 9 keeps having flashbacks.
They were being trained for something.
For something, yeah. And it seems to be paying off. I'm not sure if this is the actual thing that they've been training for. I'm not too sure. But 9 keeps having flashbacks and nightmares about the time he spent in this facility. And 12 overall...
There was like that blonde kid. Like, there was the kid with blonde hair and pink eyes. And they kept focusing on it. Yeah,
and
it
seems like he died.
Well, like 12 mentioned, you couldn't save him. Maybe we could make up for it with Lisa. Kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
And... well, at least I don't know if that was the actual kid, but I know they put a lot of focus on this blonde-haired kid. So I feel like that's probably it.
We're probably going to hear more about that in the next episode, which comes out in about an hour, and I can't wait. So yeah, 12 on the surface, he looks like a kind of happy-go-lucky guy, but the way he acts and the things he says to people, you're looking at him, you're thinking, yeah, he does look a bit stabby, actually, doesn't he?
Well, he straight up tells Lisa, hey, I know we said you're, an accomplice, but you're not one of us, so if you do anything wrong, we'll kill you.
I'll kill you.
Yeah. And she was like, he has a smile like the sun. So, yeah, all right.
To that point, Lisa's a very interesting character. I mean, she gets picked on in school a lot, but it seems like she's like the pretty quiet kind of girl, wouldn't hurt to fly. Yeah. So it doesn't make much sense as to why she's getting picked on. She also seems to be having problems at home with her mother.
That's exactly why she's getting picked on.
Because she's the quiet one?
Yeah.
Why would you pick on the quiet kid?
I was the quiet kid.
Same.
I was sort of the quiet kid. Oh, wait, don't tell me we all got picked on.
Why do you think we all got into anime?
Welcome to the Losers Podcast. None of us had a good childhood. Everything was shite.
No, I didn't have that bad. No, I was...
I don't care. That's why I got sick. Yeah, as I mentioned as well, Lisa, she's got something going on with her mother. I think.
Well, her dad walked out, and her mother is a fucking mental wreck.
Yeah,
that's what I gathered.
She's not in a great place in her life right now.
It's not great.
And this leads to it's not great, and this leads to her leaving home in episode 3. Now, as I mentioned, we got Shibazaki. He's got an interest in history at the police, and it's going to be interesting to see what more information we're going to get out of that. Now, the voice acting's been great as well. That's something I've definitely picked up on. We got Atsumi Tanizaki, and she's playing Lisa. I feel her voice is so familiar, but I can't for the life of me remember who she's played before. And I can't find out online. So if anybody's listening to this, please find out who she's played before and let me know. It's driving me crazy. I'm loving near enough everything about the show, apart from one thing, and that's the soundtrack. Nothing but the one song I mentioned actually sticks out in the show.
I like the OP.
I don't mind the OP. I think it's okay.
Although I think, like, we were talking about this before, I feel like when you listen to OPs, you value the song mostly, like, just over everything. Whereas, like, I kind of, like, for OPs, I like the song and the visuals.
Oh, the visuals are undeniably fantastic. They look gorgeous.
Exactly. That's why I like the OP. I think the song and the visuals go very well together, but I think you tend to care more about the music over most things. But yeah, like, it's understandable. But yeah, like, I actually really like the OP.
I mean, when it comes to the soundtrack, if a piece of music doesn't stick out at all during the show, that's fine, I guess. I mean, if it blends into the background and it doesn't detract from the scene, then I can accept that. But I managed to get my hands on the OST and I listened back to it, and as a standalone, it's really, really not that good. I was expecting a little bit better from Yoko Kanno. I mean, there are some really good songs there, some really nice mellow songs like Burden, for example. And then we've got NC-17 that blends into a song called Is. And those are the two songs that play during the motorbike scene I mentioned that gave me the warm fuzzies. And it's an awesome combination. Those songs are great. But then there are these other tracks on the soundtrack that some of them are like really bad jazz jams. And the drums are going ham. And everything's in a minor key. And I'm really not a fan of it. And then we've got these atmospheric pieces that sound really horrible. I mean, maybe these tracks would sound better when they're paired up with the scenes they're in. I don't know. I mean, I'm in no way a great person to critique music, so as ever, please go ahead and check it out for yourself, especially those 2 songs I mentioned, 2 or 3 songs I mentioned. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. OP is decent, as we mentioned then. The animation and character design is gorgeous, the plot's coming along nicely, there are characters I can't wait to get to know better, and I'm loving how the plot's moving along. It gets my fullest recommendation. Everybody should come and watch this with me, experience it with me, please, I'm begging you. Come and experience, come and feel the love, no hesitations, and yes, I will see it through to the end. Valk, what do you think?
I pretty much agree with you, probably with less passion, but yes, I fully recommend it. It seems so great so far. Like, this is something like...
with me.
I'm trying, but I'm fucking struggling to stay awake, and I don't know why. It's like a fucking... It's not because of you.
It's not that effect on people it would seem.
I'm just so relaxed. I'm halfway to falling asleep. And sorry to derail. Anyways, so yeah, you talked about Zankyou no Terror. I've looked at the description a few times, and I'll say I've actually gotten to watching it, but it does sound very awesome. And same with Aldnoah Zero. Those are 2 that are definitely going on my list now.
I would say Zankyou no Terror is better than Aldnoah Zero, but it's my opinion.
Zankyou no Terror is better than anything that's coming else, I think at the moment right now, in my very humblest opinion.
I think very easily Zankyou no Terror could end up being better than Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah, I think
it's so. It's just, it depends how everything follows through and ends.
One thing I did notice, it's only 11 episodes, and it seems there's a lot more content to fill up more than 11 episodes. I feel like we could possibly be getting 11. So, it's one of them. Do I want it to run longer just because I'm enjoying it, and then have to wait several months for a second season? Or do I want it to wrap up nicely in 11, and only have those 11 episodes to go on? I don't know. Suppose we'll have to see where we stand at the 11 episode mark. Alright, has anybody got any final thoughts, comments, anything going on?
Also, I will take this 5 seconds to say that you should definitely watch Free. Free is enjoyable. It's a great show.
I don't like interrupting people.
Right, so,
there we go, I'm good.
So to be covered in the next podcast, if Leox had a chance to catch up, we've got Love Stage, Free Eternal Summer, Momo Kyun Sword, like literally all of the best shows that are coming out right now. But the main focus of that show will be a collective review of Fractale. Ladies and gentlemen and others, thank you very much for listening to the Anime Abroad podcast. I have been joined by Valk.
Hello. And goodbye.
And Iru.
Goodbye, everybody.
My name is Archerskye, and we'll see you next time on the next episode of the Anime Abroad podcast. That intro, that outro was so fucking cheesy.